Okay, so this is take two, trying to film the intro to this video. It is just one of those days, I am telling you. Anyways, hi, my beautiful babies. And for those of you who are just stopping by, hi, how are you? And welcome to my home. I hope that you find these recipes just as satisfying as my family does. Today I just have like a mod podge, whatever it's called, of like random ingredients. So I thought that I would combine them to make, I think it's called pulled pork barbecue cornbread casserole. But there's kind of a twist today. My oven is broken. So we're gonna have to do this in my cast iron pans to create kind of like a Dutch oven. We'll see how it works. This is kind of an experiment for me as well. Let's see here. Yeah, so if this interests left, see what I mean? I'm just going with it. I'm just going with it. If this recipe interests you and you want to try it, come along. We can all try it together. Okay, so this is basically the ingredients that you need. And we'll start off with diced green chilies. You could either substitute that for probably jalapenos. That'd be really good. I just don't have any. And then a can of cream style sweet corn. Doesn't have to be, again, cream corn. It can be just a regular can of corn. And then because I did not make like a pulled pork in advance, like taking a pork roast and cooking it in a slow cooker or an Instapot, I just went ahead and picked up one of these. And I got sauceless because I'm actually going to substitute the barbecue sauce with sugar-free because I just can't have sugar. So anyways, and then you can either use bacon, but this is a, what was it, pork? Yeah, smoked pork jaw. I don't know. I like to dice it up and I figured that'd be kind of good in there. So I'm going to pre-cook this before I add it to the casserole. Then you're gonna need some cheese. And again, I'm literally making this up as I go. These are things that I had that I wanted to use. So it's kind of an experiment for the both of us, but I figured, hey, why not add some cheese? Cheese makes everything better, right? And then I got this buttermilk cornbread muffin mix. Any cornbread or muffin mix, or even homemade cornbread. If you make your own cornbread, I just didn't have any cornmeal to do it, so I'm not. You can use like Jiffy, the box Jiffy, and then buttermilk. I prefer using buttermilk in my cornbread, but again, you can use regular milk, you can use powdered milk, you could use, you know, whatever. Actually, I was thinking that if you wanted to add more protein to this whole thing, you could do, what is that? Isopure, the unflavored. You can add a scoop to that and then boost your protein mix, or boost your protein. I can't talk today. I'm very sorry, guys. Okay, so those are basically the ingredients. The one thing I didn't include in here is the barbecue sauce, which is this one. I got it on clearance at Target, but I really like this brand and their sauces, so that's what I'm going to use for the pulled pork. So you're going to follow the directions on the back of the package, and mine says to just take the pulled pork out and then put it back into this tray. And then it also says, okay, I'm not going to put the lid on it, so we're just going to put this in the microwave for about 2.5 minutes. Okay, so now the pork, I put it in the microwave, it's done. I pulled it all apart. And I think I'm going to add some garlic powder to it. And then I'm going to add some onion powder, just because I prefer things pretty flavorful. And I want to see if I had any cumin right offhand, which I don't think so. I probably would have to dig all the way through my spice cabinet, and I am not about that life right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the barbecue sauce. And I'm going to open that. And then this is just to taste. Just pour in what you would think, if I can get it out of the bottle, what you would think would be an appropriate amount, like how much sauce. Some people like it with a lot of sauce. Some people like it with less sauce. Just do it to what you think that you would prefer. Okay, so we're gonna mix that up in there. Okay, well, I also like mustard-based barbecue sauces. So I know I didn't include that in the ingredients beforehand, but I'm going to put it in now, just some yellow mustard. And again, to whatever you think would be good. I feel like sometimes that the mustard, the vinegar and the mustard kind of kicks back some of the sweetness in the pulled pork. Maybe that's why I like it, because I actually really like vinegar, vinegar flavored things. Okay, so I'm actually thinking I'm probably gonna add a little bit more to that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, my next step is I'm going to add the cooked pork jaw bits. I'm going to add that to there. And the other thing I'm just deciding or debating on is, I wonder if I should add this to the cornbread mixture, or if I should go ahead and add the green chilies to the barbecue. I'm just not sure yet, but I will let you know. I'm gonna go ahead and get the pork. Okay, so I went ahead and just added the green chilies to the pork, and I went and added some spicy brown mustard, just, you know, because that's me. And then I am going to add right now, I'm gonna add in the cooked, or I guess roast, I don't know, whatever, pork jaw pieces. Again, you can use bacon. All of this measurement wise is to your liking. So I'm just gonna mix that up. Oh, Jesus, I'm making a mess everywhere. Tends to be what I'm doing today. I literally, before I pushed play, dropped my phone nearly into this bowl. Oh, sometimes you just take the good days with the ones that aren't so great either. Okay. So there we go. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right. So we got that mixture. We're going to set this aside. And then, which you're probably still going to see the bowl, but that's okay. And then here, I have already opened the 2 packages of the cornbread mix. And then to that, I'm going to go ahead. Now, you're going to follow the directions on the back of whichever cornbread mix you use. But the only difference is I'm going to add this creamed corn, which there's already liquid in this. So on the package, it said 2/3 cup. So you're going to want to double that because I'm using 2 packages. But because I'm using the corn, I'm going to actually decrease the milk to 1 cup. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in there. And then we are going to, I'm going to throw that away real quick. And then we are going to open up I'm going to start off with 2/3 actually of buttermilk. Only because I want to make sure that the consistency, let me grab a spoon here. The consistency is okay still. I'm gonna mix that up a little bit. Actually, I think that's perfect. So I just did 2/3 instead of 1 cup of the buttermilk. And I actually think that that is gonna be perfect. Okay, so you don't want to overmix that too much either. Now to this, I'm going to add just a little bit, probably just like a sprinkling of cheese. because I'm gonna layer this in the cast iron pan, and then I'm going to put cheese over the pork. All right, okay, so that's what that looks like. So again, excuse the way that I appear, because this is just a mom cooking dinner. What I wanted to say was, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but my oven is broken right now. Your dad ordered the part for the oven, but of course, like with anything that is here in Alaska, it's going to take, like, I don't know, I think they said the 28th, and today is the 17th, maybe? So yeah, it's not gonna come for a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out my cast iron skillet here, and I am going to, now I've used a Dutch oven before cooking, obviously, but I have never tried to mimic that on the stove. So we're gonna kind of see how this is gonna play out. I'm not really sure, but I guess we're all going on this adventure, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I am going to take some of that cornbread. Well, actually, let me back up. First, I am going to use some of that bacon grease that I rendered off of the pork jaw, and I'm going to grease my cast iron pan. Now, because you probably have an oven, you can just go ahead and use a casserole dish, and you're gonna wanna grease that casserole dish really well. You're gonna wanna take that cornbread mixture. Now, depending upon how many people you're feeding, obviously it's just your dad and I, so we're not gonna need a ton. But you're going to want to take like whatever size cast iron pan or sorry, not cast iron pan, geez Louise, casserole pan. And you're going to grease that. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and use this cast iron to try and mimic, like, hopefully I'll be able to create like a Dutch oven effect. So what I'm going to do now, grease that pan with that bacon grease, and then we're going to begin putting this barbecue cornbread casserole together. Okay, I'm not really sure how much that is. Like I said, it's something that I just rendered off of the pork. So I'm just gonna make sure it kind of goes all the way around. Let me see here. I gotta go grab paper towels. Okay, I'm back. We're gonna get that up. I'm not really sure how high this is going to rise. If you don't have a lid for your cast iron pan, you can probably just go ahead and use tin foil. Just make sure that it's covered, because you kind of want to create that oven effect. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this cornbread. Not really sure how, like much, I'm just gonna kind of use my own understanding. And I'm going to measure with my heart. My daughter-in-law, Tati, taught me that. And I love that saying. So it's something that I've tried to incorporate in my language. Okay, so let's just say, I don't know, because you want to reserve. So I'm probably like half and half. I feel like that's probably a fairly good amount. And then enough to cover it. This is what I have left. I'm just kind of gauging. Yeah, I think that's probably good. Okay, so now I'm going to add to this our pork. And I'm going to be very careful as to not, like, I'm going to try and get it everywhere. Whoops, I'm like dropping some on the stove. Just kind of careful once it falls. Try not to like pick it up, because you'll disturb the cornbread on the bottom, and then you may have like scorched pieces of meat down there on the bottom of the pan. But hey, what do I know? Because we're actually doing this together. It's just what I was thinking about. So some of my favorite things growing up is cornbread. Was born in Wichita Falls, Texas. And a very southern family. My grandma's, or my, yeah, well, yeah, my grandma come from a military family. But my grandma, my grandpa, and like everybody came from like the Tennessee area and Texas and all that. So some of my favorite dishes evolve around cornbread. It's probably one of the reasons why I was like, oh, you know what sounds good today? I used to eat it actually with warm cornbread with butter that's melted over it, sprinkled sugar and warm milk, and eat it kind of like cereal. That sounds weird, cereal, but whatever. Oh my gosh, that is like one of my favorites. I don't do sugar now, so that's something that I don't really get to eat very often. I guess I could use a sugar substitute, but I'll have to think about that. So we're just going to gently place the cornbread around and on top. Oh my gosh, you know what I forgot to do was the cheese. Okay, so I guess part of this isn't going to have cheese. Maybe I'll sprinkle some on top. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Well, it is what it is, right? It's an experiment that we're all doing together. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and, turn on the stove to get this pan hot. Probably what I should have done actually is gotten my cast iron hot beforehand and then done this. I was just too busy talking and sharing things that I forgot cheese and to preheat the cast iron. Oh, well, next time, right? Things to remember. You learn from your mistakes. That's the important thing. It's not that you make the mistakes. It's just that you learn from the ones that you make. And then do your best. Okay. There we go. So I'm just kind of spreading that out a little bit. Putting the bowl in there. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and let this heat up after. Okay, so yeah, definitely know that next time you do this, you really should heat that cast iron till it is pretty hot. So I guess what I'm going to end up doing is it's probably going to take me a little bit longer, but if you do it the right way, make sure this cast iron is really hot. Put in your mixture. Then you're going to want to cover it either with tin foil. Hold on a second. Leo, Anna, stop. Sorry. You're going to want to put tin foil over it. If you don't have tin foil, you improvise. I do. I have a skillet that just, you can actually just lay on there like that. And then we're going to turn it down to medium low. And then we are going to wait for like 6 to 8 minutes. Okay, so it's actually a little too hot to just take off. Ooh, look at that. All right, and it's firm. So it's definitely cooked all the way through. That turned out so awesome. Okay, let me plate it and then I'll show you guys. So let's get out some of this. Oh, that looks so good. And the great thing is like, look at the sides. It wasn't even burnt or nothing. I did it just like a Dutch oven. All right, there you have it, you guys. I hope that you try this and let me know what you guys think about it. Okay, there's something that I forgot to mention. I never mentioned the time. Because I used 2 packets, I actually ended up having to leave it on for like 15 minutes, but I checked it on low. And then after those 15 minutes, I left the lid on it for an additional 10 minutes or so with the heat off. And that seemed to have worked out perfect. Like I said, I really hope that you guys try this. Let me know if you guys also enjoy this pulled pork. Let's see here, barbecue pulled pork cornbread casserole. All right. Well, thank you guys. And thank you as always for stopping by my channel and for my beautiful babies. I love you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.